ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good evening. Thank you so very much for tuning in. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio, CLR 154 on your Sirius XM dial. If you're listening to us on Sirius, we invite you to download our app, ENTV USA, where you're going to have access to all of our exclusive content on Cachita Latina Radio, as well as all of the content on ENTV USA. And we are here each and every night, courtesy of Café Cachita, el mejor para compartir. Te cuento,
Dime.
Hoy por la tardecita me tuve que tomar un helado de vainilla con otro Café Cachita. Isidoro, that is addictive. I don't know why you recommended that I try that. I don't know why, man. Por la mañana.
Hey, y chocolate.
Por la mañana, I had un bombón,
Sí.
which is my absolute favorite. If y'all don't know what that is, you get like a little glass and you put in some condensed milk. I ration it about 50-50, right?
Right.
So I do like half the cup of condensed milk, and then I do the rest in fresh Café Cachita.
Right.
So that was like my morning coffee, right?
That's all diet stuff, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I can only imagine.
And then in the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, you need that little pick-me-up. So I said, my vanilla ice cream, because it was hot. I need a pick-me-up.
Pick me up.
Of course. And it was super hot. So I was out working in the yard and stuff, and I said, ay, qué calor tengo. ¿Qué voy a tomarme? Un heladito de vainilla, como le gusta a Isidoro, con un cafecito Cachita.
Coño, Alain, el señor dueño de Cachita, por favor, tíranos un par de paqueticos de café Cachita a mí y a Cachita, que estamos, que se nos acabó, no tenemos más. ¿Eh? No, tú tienes café Cachita. Tú tienes café Cachita, ¿ok? Aquí los únicos que no tenemos café Cachita es Izzy Martinez y Cachita López. ¿Tú tienes café Cachita? No. Bueno.
Tampoco. Ay, no, hay que ponerse, hay que activarse en esto.
Ajá.
Pues te cuento.
Dime.
A ton of stuff has been happening in South Florida.
Okay.
The story that really has shocked South Florida has been the story of and we're all tired of the spring breakers. Ya, ojalá ya se acaban de ir. No, todavía faltan como 2 semanas.
Pero siguen en la bobería esa ahí en la playa.
Sí, las borracheras y las cosas y todo,
cool.
tú sabes, normal.
Cool, yeah.
Pero lo que más impresionó este fin de semana creo que fue el caso del niño que fue secuestrado, asaltado sexualmente y que le dispararon. The case is very simple. I'm going to say it first in English and then I'll...
Shot him in the face.
Yeah. I'm going to say it first in English and then in Spanish. So there's this 12-year-old boy, and according to the report, he snuck out of his house. He put pillows on his bed so his parents would think that, he was in there sleeping.
Right.
That, kids have done this for ages. And he left to go to a little friend's house. So on his way back, he's approached by a man at gunpoint. He was in a black 4-door sedan, forces a kid into the car, drives him a few blocks, sexually assaults him, shoots him, and then throws him out the car. So the kid starts screaming for help.
That's over on 31st Avenue or something like that.
Yeah, that's Brownsville.
Street.
That's Brownsville.
Over in Brownsville, yeah.
Yeah. So he pushes the kid out. The kid starts screaming, asking for help. And there was just a neighborhood guy on his bicycle. This happened between 2 and 3 in the morning on Saturday. And he's like, what happened? And, he tells the man, he goes, well, I don't have a phone, but follow me. I'll take you to the corner store and they can call police there.
Mm-hmm.
As he arrived to the corner store, which is just a couple blocks away on 32nd and 40, I think like
46 maybe or
40,
something
45th, I think.
Más
o menos por ahí, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he gets there, he collapses. The lady that was inside the corner store brought him water. There were other people that were around that protected him until the police got there. And once fire rescue got there, all the kids said, I was shot. He was in his, it was horrible. He was like in his boxers, no shirt on, no shoes on, nothing. And I think he had some socks on. And he was rushed to Jackson right at trauma. And he's there recovering.
Unbelievable.
So, para las personas que no hablan inglés, esto fue un caso que sucedió aquí mismo en Miami-Dade County. El muchachito de 12 años decidió escaparse para ir a casa de un amiguito Sus padres pensaban que estaban en la casa. Él incluso puso almohadas en su cama, como por si acaso los padres abrían el cuarto, veían que hubiese alguien ahí acostado. Salió por la ventana y se fue a casa del amiguito. Regresando de la casa del amiguito, un hombre latino entre 40 y 50 años de edad, de pelo crespo, largo, lo para. Él andaba en un carro negro de 4 puertas. Le apuntó con una pistola, hizo que se montara en el carro, lo llevó un par de cuadras, lo violó, luego le dispara, que le dio en la cara, y le abre la puerta y lo tira. En ese momento el niño empieza a gritar. Sucedió entre las 2 y las 3 de la mañana.
Dice que el niño no ve.
Entre las 2 y las 3 de la mañana, el niño gritando, ayúdenme, ayúdenme, help, help, help. Y un señor que estaba pasando en una bicicleta, dice, ¿qué te pasó? Le dijeron, I'm shot, me dispararon. Pero el señor no tenía celular. Entonces le digo, bueno, ven que yo te voy a acompañar hasta la bodega y ahí te pueden llamar a la policía. Y llegando a la bodega, el niño colapsó, que estaba como a unas 3
Claro,
cuadras.
se está perdiendo sangre.
Estaba como unas 3 cuadras, pero en el video de las cámaras de surveillance se ve que el niño estaba solamente en ropa interior. Y salió la muchacha que estaba atendiendo la bodega, le dio un pomo de agua, le dieron unas toallas y eso, en lo que esperaban que llegara la policía y los bomberos, y se lo llevaron para Jackson Rider Trauma. Están todavía buscando al hombre que tenga información, que llame 305-471-TIPS. If you have any information, call 305-471-TIPS. Esto es una cosa insólita. No, es una cosa que uno dice, esto no puede estar sucediendo. Who would do that, you know?
Ahora, si tú
There are a lot
encuentras...
of
Ok, ahora yo
sick fucking
espérate,
individuals, man.
te voy a poner en esta situación. Si tú eres un policía, ¿no? Y tú capturas a la persona que le dio el tiro a él en la cara y lo violó, o lo violó y le dio un tiro en la cara, lo botó del carro como si fuera...
Basura.
Es que ni un perro.
¿Ni un perro?
Porque aquí cogen una persona botando un perro, le caen atrás, le cogen la chapa y lo cogen preso.
Yep.
¿Entiendes? Eso es un humano, eso es un niño.
Es un niño,
Ok,
man.
¿qué tú le haces?
Por eso es que no puedo ser policía.
No, pero ¿qué
Yo
tú
te
le
digo,
haces?
por eso es que yo no puedo ser policía.
No, pero no puedes estar de un lado y del otro.
No, esto es muy sencillo. Yo no puedo ser policía porque yo no tuviese el control, y lo reconozco, de saber que una persona secuestró, violó y balació a un niño. Esa persona merece la pena de muerte.
¿Quieres un secreto?
What?
El resto de la policía se siente igualito que tú. No nadie es especial para ese
Pero
trabajo.
tener ese tipo de control, no todo el mundo
No.
tiene la capacidad para eso.
Pero
Ustedes tienen esa capacidad.
Pero ese es el punto.
Pero yo no tengo esa capacidad.
No siempre vas a tener ese control. Porque una cosa es que que coja un asaltante que acaba de asaltar una bodega, le dieron el dinero, se mandó a correr, se montó en un carro, se robó un carro, se manda a correr y tú lo paras. ¿Entonces? Aunque haya un intercambio de tiro, aunque sea que esto lo otro. Pero cuando tú estás mirando a un niño que quedó ciego, porque está ciego, porque no puede ver, porque le dan un tiro en la cara después que lo violaron y lo botaron como si fuera un pedazo de porquería del carro, no hay policía, no hay militar, no hay bombero, no hay personas de que verdad que estén allá afuera ayudando a la comunidad el día entero, que tenga la sangre tan fría como sentarse ahí, sea blanco, negro, chino, lo que sea, de sentarte ahí y decir, bueno, eso no es problema mío. Eso no existe y es lo que la gente no entiende. Porque nosotros que tenemos niños, cuando vemos un niño que tiene que ha sido ¿cómo es? Victimizado. Ajá. Que ha sido víctima de un crimen. ¿Ok? Ajá, le tiré una palabra ahí que no me salió y bueno, me quedé ahí. Un niño que es un víctima de un crimen. Y tú te paras ahí, lo estás viendo el tuyo. Estás viendo al tuyo. Entonces tienes un individuo que no tiene corazón, que tiene una sangre fría, que es esa es la bola de porquería y lo tienes delante de ti. ¿Qué es lo que tú crees que yo le quiero hacer?
The same thing I would do, but
Right.
this is why I'm telling you,
What would you do?
I could never be a police officer, and I know I know that I could never ever be a police officer because I know that I would not have the mental capacity to keep control if I had to arrest somebody like that.
Well,
Like you said, the example you gave a couple minutes ago in Spanish, it's not the same if you're chasing a subject who has just robbed a corner store.
Yeah.
Even if there's there's gunfire,
Yeah,
there's
even-
whatever.
right.
There's not an actual innocent victim. That's
Well, there is the clerk that's behind the window.
There is, but we're not talking about a child who's been
Correct.
Kidnapped and raped
Elderly.
and shot in the eye, an elderly person.
Exactly.
I couldn't.
So what do you do?
What do I do? I call
Come
the
on.
police. The people that have
No.
that have the strength to do that because I can't.
I love to put her on the spot because every once in a while she goes. She makes
Pero
a
I
left.
tell
She
you-
makes a left turn. If you get my drift.
I don't
So
make
let
no
me
left
ask-
turn.
yes, you
I'm
do.
letting you know that I could not do that.
But
and
let's
I
say
have.
you were. Let's say you were. What would you do to this person? Would you just? Okay, I'm gonna give you. You want me to tell you another little secret?
I would.
Here's what I would do.
I would have a lot of.
Listen.
I would have a lot of complaints in internal affairs,
Ah.
and I recognize
See
it.
what I
That's why
mean?
I'm not a cop.
Yeah, but there isn't a special.
I
Okay.
can't do
The
that.
only special thing about a cop is that while everybody's running to the east, and the cops are running to the west towards where the shots are coming
Okay.
from, and I think it has to do with a little bit of the nutty buddy syndrome. I think we're all a little bit, just a tad crazy to do stuff like that, but we do it, and we do it not because they're paying us millions of dollars. They're paying us now in 2021 $56,000 a year to do that. So when we're running in the direction of where the bullets are coming from, it's not our job. It's just the way that you have that need to go and neutralize that situation to save lives and save yourself as well. So let me give you another little tip. Okay, when it was me, okay, it was hard to hold back, but the handcuffs did go a little bit harder. Okay. And I didn't want to hear that they were tight, and I didn't want to hear that you were in the back seat and it wasn't comfortable, and all that bunch of garbage. An ass beating? No comment. No comment. Let me tell you something. There's one thing that my dad told me right before I became a cop. If I ever find out that you handcuff somebody and you beat the living hell out of them, you're going to have to deal with me. And I kept that pretty much. You understand? If you want to swing, let's swing, but without no handcuffs. Let's swing without no handcuffs. And here's another thing. You don't charge the person with battery on a police officer when you make that decision to tell that person, go ahead and take a swing. Go ahead. Do it. And some people do. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But the bottom line, that's what the job is about. Don't give me this crap that you can do this and you can do that. The politicians will tell you, oh, they should have never been done. Don't Monday morning quarterback a job that you've never done and you have no idea how that job is. Especially if, like I told you before, police, fire, and teachers. You never been a damn teacher. Here you are. That teacher, she reacted, incorrectly. Yeah. While you were sleeping in your house in your air conditioning and your 2 pit bulls outside taking care of you. So don't get me going. But that's a fact of life. That right there, that story with that kid, as soon as I read it this afternoon, I was just ticked off.
I'm telling you, it blew my mind.
Let's take a quick break and get some Café Cachita and...
We'll be right back.
Woo! What a way
Ladies
to
and
start.
gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back. True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez.
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
111, 110. Belligerent and hostile.
Mi mujer no se levanta de la cama sin 2 cafés, hechos por mí, por supuesto. Le pregunté cuál es de la casa el mejor café y me dijo, sinceramente, Cachita. Pruébenlo. Y después me dice, salud, con Cachita.
Como hay ropa bonita aquí. Señor, me hace el favor,
Tony con té.
¡Alejo!
Tú en una tienda de ropa de mujeres.
Bueno, porque estoy comprándole a una dama para hacerle un regalo.
Ay, qué casualidad. Yo también estoy tratando de comprarle a una dama para ver si me dice que sí, porque cuando hay ropa buena no hay que se resista a decirte que no.
Bueno, pues tú sabes que yo nunca me imaginé que aquí en el medio de default me iba a encontrar con Alejo.
No es default, es hollarse.
Hollarse está en default.
Usted me desfolca, pero es hollar. ¡Oh, ya sé! ¡En default!
¿En default?
¿De verdad que sí?
¿Hollarse?
En default.
Señorita, ¿usted me ayuda?
Te ayuda a lo que está más perdido. Hollarse. No hay más nada.
¡Ay! ¿Y eso qué fue? ¡Ay, me dieron por detrás! ¡Ay, no, espérate un momento! Me voy a ver ahora. ¡Ay! ¡Ay, qué mala suerte! ¡Ay! ¿Y yo dónde estoy? ¿Esto es el paraíso?
No, estás en Your Care Health Network.
Avanza con el pie derecho con Your Care Health Network.
Aquí no le cambiamos su suerte, pero resolvemos todos los problemas de su accidente.
Accidentado, recompensado.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
Fíjate en esto. Hace muchos años, creo que eran los 80, hay que buscarlo ahí. La familia del Rey, ¿tú sabes quién es Del Rey?
No.
Que la familia del Rey es una familia local, que es muy conocida, que son los dueños del Princess Motel, de los hoteles
Okay.
esos de Airport Executive y todas esas cosas. Ok. El padre, el muchacho no tenía licencia, le consiguió una licencia ficticia, una licencia con una fecha de nacimiento que lo hacía legal para manejar. Ok. El chiquito sale, creo que era con un Corvette, y coge un Chevy Chevette o un carrito de eso y lo parte a la mitad en la US1, mata a la persona. ¿Ok? ¿Quién fue preso? ¿Papá? El papá, porque fraudulentemente ¿cómo se mete? Le consiguió la licencia al chiquito, y así debe ser. Así debe ser. Si tú sabes que tiene una licencia de manejar con una persona al lado hasta cierta hora, bla, 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 ¿cómo tú le vas a prestar el carro? Porque, fíjate, vamos a hacer otra cosa. Yo le pregunto a papá, él tenía permiso para manejar el carro, y el padre va a decir, no. Ah, entonces tenemos que ponerle otro cargo. Ponle un cargo de robo de carro.
Yep.
Pues entonces, no, pero no me le pongas más cargo. Sí, le tengo que poner un cargo, porque si no le pongo el cargo a él, te lo tengo que poner a ti, imbécil. ¿Cómo tú vas a dejar al chiquito que saca de tu casa sabiendo que él no tiene licencia para manejar? ¿Entiendes? Y arriba de eso, si tú no sabes que tu hijo es un marihuanero, porque tú no hueles la marihuana que trae él arriba, porque eso no fue un día marihuana, no, y que el hijo tuyo le gusta tomar, estás muy jodido.
Con 16 años.
Estás muy jodido.
Con 16 años.
¿Entiendes?
No estamos hablando de un chamaco que ya tenga edad para beber.
Sí.
Estamos hablando de un niño de 16 años, un culi cagado de 16 años.
No, porque el problema es que la mamá y el papá pensaba que las goticas de los ojos vicín esa que él tenía era porque el chiquito tenía glaucoma o algo de eso. No, es que es un marihuanero. Y se le ponen los ojos rojos, entonces se echa la gotica para quitarse los rojos de los ojos. Eso es lo que pasa. Pero nosotros los padres, es que yo no me puedo incluir en esa, porque es que yo no soy parásito por ese lado. Seré parásito por otro lado, pero por ese no. ¿Cómo tú no vas a ver lo que tus hijos están haciendo? Tú tienes que ver lo bueno y lo malo de tus hijos.
Yep.
Tienes que verlo, porque si no es hoy, es mañana, vas a pagar la consecuencia y el chiquito va a pagar la consecuencia. ¿Tú me entiendes? Y no, se te sientan ahí y dicen, yo no sabía que él fumaba marihuana. Y el olor que traía en la ropa cuando él llegaba, que usted se la lavaba o él entraba a la casa, ¿qué usted creía que era?
Sí, perfume.
Ajá, sí, perfume de hierba. No jodas. Entonces se sientan ahí delante de un juez y le dicen, no es culpable. Y llevamos 4 meses negociando con el fiscal porque le querían echar la pena de muerte al niño y tiene nada más que 16 años. O una estupidez de esa. Pero sigue el caso ese para que tú veas dónde va a llegar el caso ese. Acuérdate que ya eso hay un arreglo hecho. Te lo garantizo que hay un arreglo hecho ya. Entonces, ¿cómo tú le dices eso a la familia de los 4 víctimas que murieron ahí?
Una muchacha de 21 años.
Escucha eso.
Un muchacho de 22 años.
Claro.
Y 2 más de 21 años.
Tú sabes,
4 familias destrozadas.
hay cosas que yo no entiendo. Mira, yo respeto las decisiones de todo el mundo y lo que las personas opinan, como tienen que respetar lo que yo digo, porque eso es mío. Yo soy dueño de mis pensamientos y de lo que yo digo. Pero ahora vamos a hacer eso. Hay familias, tú no has oído familias de víctimas que dicen, yo lo perdono. En mi corazón yo lo perdono.
I'm not a bigger person.
No.
I'm sorry, fuck
yo
that.
Soy una persona. Mira, oye, mami,
No.
tú a mí, no es que me lo maten, tú a un hijo mío me le das un golpe, ¿ok? O algo peor. Eso de que yo te voy a perdonar para poder vivir el resto de mi vida en paz. No, si yo no quiero vivir en paz, lo que quiero vivir es casándote a ti como si fueras un puerco de esos, jíbaro de esos, para ir a casarte en la calle. Y a donde te coja, aunque me desgracie la vida, vas a terminar mal. Vas a terminar mal. ¿Tú me entiendes? Especialmente con tanta gente mala que hay aquí. Ahora mismo el muchachito ese que violaron y le metieron el tiro, que esto y lo otro. ¿Cómo tú le vas a decir a un padre? Tienes que dejar y perdonar. ¿Perdonar de qué? Tú eres boba. Es más, que yo le busco al fiancista para que me lo saque de la cárcel. Yo busco al fiancista y le digo, dile que alguien anónimo le pagó la fianza para que saliera. Yo te garantizo que no llega a la corte. Como le hizo a la madre de un chiquito allá creo que fue en Georgia, que le violó el niño y entró a la corte y no había detector de mentiras y entró con un 357. Y le dijo, Juanito, y cuando el tipo hizo así, que miró para atrás, le hizo ¡pa! Y le dio un tiro en la cara. Ya. Tiró la pistola y se rindió ahí mismo. Ya, tranquilo. Ahora sí tengo el corazón mejor. Ya me siento mejor.
No, ya, en fin, si le quitó su vida, le quitó su vida.
Coño, yo te voy a dejar perdonar y toda esta cosa. Por muy religioso que sea, tienes que tener un poquito de... Para mí, yo soy rencoroso. Yo por ese lado soy un muchacho, soy un perro rencoroso. Yo no puedo perdonar ni nada de eso, especialmente en eso.
Te cuento.
Anyways.
Siguen los casos estos cargados en Miami. Miami está de madre. Says here, police found a man and a woman shot dead inside a home in northeast Miami-Dade after they said the man fired at officers and barricaded himself inside the residence. Miami-Dade police units responded to a domestic-related incident in the area of Northeast 143rd Street and 14th Avenue just before 12:30 on Friday night. Investigators said the man opened fire on responding officers who were forced to fire back. Police said the man had barricaded himself inside the home. When Miami-Dade's Police Department's Special Response Team went inside, they discovered the man and a woman with apparent gunshot wounds. They were pronounced dead at the scene. One officer suffered a knee injury and was taken to an area hospital. FDLE is investigating the case.
Yeah.
Also, it's just, man, it's so much stuff. Did you hear about the guy who shot at Everglades National Park Rangers.
Yeah, they shut down. There was an active shooter. I got the some alert or something on the phone.
Authorities have taken a man into custody hours after they said he opened fire at park rangers. Who the hell opens fire at park rangers? Vaya. Okay, at Everglades National Park in South Miami-Dade and fled. Multiple federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies responded to the park Sunday night. According to the National Park Service, a subject fired at park rangers unprovoked and took off after the rangers responded to a domestic violence call. No injuries were reported. Park visitor said that he heard there was a park visitor who said he heard, the gunfire. He said, we did hear some gunshots. We don't know if that came from the police or if they came from the guy that is armed, but there were quite a few shots that we heard. Vargas said he went fishing with a friend at the park early Sunday morning. As they started to leave at around 7:15 p.m., he was told to go back, and as of 9 p.m., they were still stuck in a line of traffic. Officials shut down State Road 9336 in an effort to keep the public safe. Everybody was outside their cars, so I approached them and tried to find out what's going on, and they said that it appears there was a manhunt going on for a guy that is armed. Vargas snapped pictures of the backed-up traffic and Miami-Dade police helicopter hovering over the park. Investigators advised visitors and residents in the Flamingo area to shelter in place while they searched for the gunman. Just after 9 p.m., officials confirmed they had taken the subject into custody. They described him as a 33-year-old man with long hair. That's all the information they're stating as of right now, which is nuts.
Could you imagine if that idiot would have jumped in the water to try to hide? That would have been a great one, with all the alligators that are there.
Sí, perfecto. Que se hubiese va para el carajo ya. ¿Cómo tú le vas a estar disparando a los park rangers? What the hell do park rangers do? They keep you safe in the middle of a freak nature.
If you have a gun, here we go. If you have a gun, legally have a gun, and you have a permit to carry everywhere you go, everywhere. When you go to the grocery store, carry a gun. When you go to the mall, carry a gun. Restaurants, carry a gun. Everywhere. Who the hell's going to think that you're going to go for a nice, scenic fishing or whatever at ¿cómo se llama esto? Everglades National Park, and all of a sudden you got some meathead that is firing at the rangers and running and all that stuff.
Bro.
I'm here to tell you, if I'm there and I'm with my family and I see this moron running with a gun in his hand, and I see the cops behind him, and I can do something about it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Because I'm sick and tired of this shit. I really am. And then you got these liberals, the Second Amendment and the assault rifles. We are so scared. Hey, listen, if you're so scared, I guess what? Give up your bodyguards. Give up all the Secret Service, because they have guns. They're dangerous. They're super dangerous. And they also carry some special stuff, too, that we know about. Some little short, like MP5 type of thing. So,
show this.
Since you are scared, give all that up. It's very dangerous. Very extremely dangerous.
All right. So
I saw that.
Girl, I want to talk about this really quick, but I know we have to leave for a commercial break in a couple minutes. This little girl is a 14-year-old girl. It says here, a teenage girl in Texas has been abducted by a registered sex offender and is in extreme danger. The local sheriff's department said, if you've seen this little girl, please, her name is Lexus Gray. She's 14 years old. She was allegedly kidnapped by her non-custodial father, a 40-year-old Justin Gray, on Wednesday after authorities said he assaulted and chased her mom with a knife in Rains County. Justin Gray is believed to be dangerous, and he has an active parole violation warrant. He was convicted on 2 counts of sexual assault on a child, 1 count of indecency with a child by sexual contact, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. According to the release, Gray left with Lexus on foot and is believed to be in Dallas or in the Mesquite area as of Friday. If anyone sees him or talks to them, please notify police or myself. That's what the mother posted on a Facebook post. We want Lexi to know that we love her very much and want her to come home. Her brother and sister miss her very much. Lexus Gray is 5'6", 160 pounds, with blonde hair and hazel eyes. Anyone with information on this case should immediately call 911 or the Rains County Sheriff's Office directly. This is
That don't smell right. And I'm going to tell you why. Especially after that statement that they made, you know. Now, if you know that your daughter was kidnapped, right, by this individual, and you know that she left, you know.
it's her dad.
Yes. Then who will you be talking to? You'll be talking to the assailant, right? The bad guy. And going, please return her safely, whatever it is. You don't need more problems in your life, blah, 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 blah. No. Listen, little girl, come back home. Mommy misses you. Daddy misses you. Come back home. Then how is it a kidnap? That's the problem.
Well, he doesn't have custody over her, and he's a sexual
They're
predator.
going to have a hard time proving that now after that statement. That's why statements are so important and so need to be
But
controlled.
if he doesn't have custody, because it says here, he is her non-custodial
Right,
father.
right.
So he doesn't have custody of her.
Right.
And he's a registered sex offender.
That's his daughter. And his daughter's going to say, I went with daddy because I love my daddy. And that's who I want to be with. So as far as kidnapping, they just blew it by stating, you know, trying to talk to the girl. We're going to take a quick break. I got a couple of things when we get back that I want to discuss.
Awesome. I want to talk about that fraud.
Absolutely.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, this is I'll Call You Back. True Blue Unedited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
111, 110. Belligerent and hostile.
La martelo aquí.
¡Ey!
¡Ay, qué sorpresa!
Y me sorprendiste tú a mí porque yo estaba buscando un regalo para ti, ya que me dijiste que te gustaban mucho las pipas.
Sí,
Adivina cuál te quiero regalar.
¿Cuál me quieres
El
regalar?
del pollito.
¡Oh, qué tierno!
Le quiero regalar el del pollito. Porque se parece a él. Mírale el piquito.
¡Oh, qué chulo!
Como ese piquito que tienes ahí.
Señor, esta es la tienda donde compran los artistas, los deportistas y tú que eres VIP también. Fog Nation. ¿Lo digo
Con
bien?
G. Fog.
Ahí está. Mira la careta esa. Uy.
Esas son para ahorita, para la cuarentena, para la pandemia. ¿Quieres una? ¿Quieres ponerte una?
Me vendría bien esa cara. Mira, ve, empezó
Con
a
esa
tirarme.
cara le vendría bien una de esas. Él mismo lo dijo. Él mismo lo dijo.
Mi gente, gracias por estar conectado con nosotros. Yo soy Tony Cortés y les estoy anunciando que Grimal Joyería y Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería se unen para dar una gran rifa que usted puede ganar. Solamente, escuchen bien, solamente van a compartir, van a llamar por teléfono y van a decir la palabra clave. Grimal Joyería, toma Café Cachita. Comparte, comparte, comparte. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Instagram. Busca Grimal Jewelry en Facebook. Llama por teléfono. Tiene dos tiendas. Una en Hialeah y la otra en la 8. Mira lo que está pasando aquí en pantalla. Tenemos grandes regalos. Café Cachita y Grimal Joyería. A las primeras 20 personas que empiecen a compartir, a llamar por teléfono, a interactuar con nosotros, vas a tener todo vas a tomar Cachita. Porque Cachita es nuestra virgen, nuestra patrona de Cuba. Y van a ponerse una prenda para respetar y querer y a nuestra calidad de cobre.
Ay, Dayami, si yo te estaba buscando en mi vida. Me dijeron que tú eres la mejor para cotizarme un seguro para mi carro.
Claro que sí, aquí en Diamond Insurance te vamos a hacer una cotización que se ajuste a tu bolsillo y a tus necesidades de seguro.
Ay, mi vida, y con lo caro que están los seguros en la Florida.
Han subido, pero un poquito, pero no te preocupes, nosotros aquí tenemos muchos años trabajando todo el estado con muchas compañías.
Ay, eso es lo que yo necesito. ¿Y qué tengo que hacer? ¿Cómo compro mi póliza?
Nada, con una simple llamada, un mensaje de texto, un email, cotizamos tu póliza completamente gratis y en minutos, porque somos la manera más fácil para asegurarte.
Dayami, aquí, entre tú y yo. ¿Tú sí me vas a contestar?
Claro que sí, nosotros siempre contestamos.
Ay, ¿verdad que un diamante es un diamante? Con Diamond Insurance me siento asegurado.
Segura que sí.
Una flor en la ocasión especial puede hacer la diferencia.
Bueno, cuando las personas vienen a una floristería, tienen múltiples opciones para una persona que está en un hospital, para una persona que ha fallecido, conquistar a una mujer, disculparnos.
Si usted se quiere disculpar porque metió la pata la semana pasada, venga aquí a Cerezo Flower. Ya sabes, 1721 Southwest, 32 Avenida, marca el teléfono 786-326-4412. Haz la diferencia con la persona que tú amas. Una flor.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're back. This is I'll Call You Back. True Blue Unedited with President Sir.
Izzy Martinez.
And Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio. Prior to the break, we veered off a little bit into Spanish land, but we're coming back for our English-speaking folk.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
Everly Patterson.
Everly! Okay.
What in the world?
So Everly has been progressing every day. There was a new video that they posted, I think it was yesterday, and they were showing the different exercises that they're doing with Everly's knees and her legs. And there's a new function that they're using. Remember that we talked about that
Yes.
cool wand? So there's this new a new setting that they're using on her. And they say that it has made her legs and her joints a lot more flexible. So when they go to do her physical therapy, you know, moving her legs and stuff, it's becoming a lot easier. So we're super excited about that. I know that they did the operation the day after Brandon was here. That just that procedure to have that new little feeding tube, yeah, put down, and hopefully that, you know, that works a little better for them. And I know that they're putting her on a new medication also for her secretions, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me right. But she's just as gorgeous and doing better. So we're happy about that.
You know, we have this COVID stuff and everything is a dog and pony show. But tomorrow, I am going to go get vaccinated. So if I grow horns or something, you know what I'm saying?
Bueno.
Make sure, leave it at that.
Ivy, tenemos que hablar, Ivy.
Leave that. Let's leave that there. And then, but tomorrow I go get vaccinated and hopefully.
Good for you, man.
You know.
I know that Miami-Dade County is dropping the age requirement to the age of 40.
That's where I say.
That's why you're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm going because they said anybody 40 and below, and I said that's me. I'm going.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So I know right now Jackson Health is doing, if I'm not mistaken, ages 15 through 17. If it is authorized by your doctor, you know, these are kids that either are cancer patients, other, you know, kids with immunodeficiency diseases and the likes. And also, if you're now over the age of 40, you can get vaccinated.
See, that's me. I'm just barely, 42? But, yeah, my son was telling me today, no way in hell, you're crazy, you shouldn't go do it. Let's go do it. What the hell? I've ridden many roller coasters throughout 30 years of career. So
you know
let's
what?
go.
I really do think it's a very personal opinion. There's a lot of backlash for those of us who are deciding not to get vaccinated. And I've seen a lot of the people's commentaries, oh, it is very irresponsible not to get vaccinated if you can get vaccinated. And when I've been asked the question a million times, why aren't you getting vaccinated? Well, number one, I'm pregnant for the first time ever with like a miracle baby. So I'm not going to do anything. I'm not putting anything into the system that
I agree with.
That is not like 150% secure.
That's right.
You know? And I honestly feel we haven't had enough time to see the secondary effects of the vaccine.
Listen, my mother-in-law is alive, and she took it. Okay, and my son's girlfriend also took it. She had a little, you know, like feverish feeling, tiredness, and stuff like that. I just hate dealing with anything that has to do with feeling bad, you know? Because
Yeah.
I like to get up every morning and go to the golf course, work on my cars, you know, do stuff. I just don't like to be in the house. And I know if that happens, I'm going to be locked into the house and I'm not going to feel good, so on and so forth.
Oh my God, do you get the man cold?
What's that? What's a man cold there, Linda?
Oh my gosh. Okay, see, when we get colds, right?
Yeah.
Or when we get the flu, we have to keep functioning
That's right.
because we have to function.
That's right.
We have homes to maintain, we have families to cook for, to tend to. A lot of times we also have to work. We have to do
right.
everything at once. Now
That's your job.
men get colds and they are, ready, comatose, ready to die
Yeah.
because they get a cold and, you...
Because we get it much worse. Since we work so much and, and all that.
Pero
we
qué
just
manera
get
hablar
them,
mierda.
You know?
Oh my God.
But you got to keep feeding us, and you got to clean
Yeah,
the
of
house
course,
and the
'cause-
kids. Well, the
of
kids, I
course.
don't have any more kids, so these kids are 24 and 27. They pretty much do their own thing. But the reason I told you about the COVID and the vaccine tomorrow, when I see Everly Patterson, and you see her on the Facebook, don't you just want to grab her
She is
and just
so...
squeeze
She
her?
is... Oh my
you
God,
know?
she's so chunky.
She is.
She is so chunky.
Oh
God
my
bless her. It's like...
God.
Es una bolita. She's
You know,
so cute.
I get to see it every day.
Actually, I want to follow up because I know that her
Can't wait to see
mom-
the day that we can go ahead and grab her and squeeze her and all that stuff. Hopefully, she
So
she won't
cute,
be
man.
too old and she'll go like, yuck, get away from me.
They'll be like, oh, these Cuban people. Oh.
Oh boy.
Let me see. Here's the update. I wanted to. Where the heck is
On
this?
Everly?
Yes.
I really haven't been. I've been on and off on
This is
social
posted.
media, but
I want to say 2 days ago. Says here the GJ tube placement went well. She did great. It's a little more bulkier than the G tube and a little more complex. Only thing is that it needs to be changed in the hospital every 3 months. But we'll see what we have to do. Pulmonologist wants to check her blood gas levels, which is a little better now than before. She has secretions. We need to get that under control. They're going to check the levels again. Besides the visit, she says here, her mom, multiple times today, the O2 nasal cannula has come out of her nose. This morning at 5 a.m., it alarmed us that her oxygen was at 88. By the time I got to the crib and found the nasal cannula, she brought her O2 up on her own to 95 within seconds, which is amazing. That is amazing.
that's a great sign because
hell yeah,
well,
that's a great
I'm not
sign.
a doctor, but I think that means that she's able to control her oxygen a lot better without oxygen dependent.
It says here, we started a new part of her therapy with the laser. It's called blood illumination. You use a laser on her main arteries for a minimum of 5 minutes. This is supposed to maximize blood and oxygen circulation to her body. The protocol has been proven effective for many issues, including modulating inflammation, reducing autoimmunity, increasing energy, improved healing, stem cell production, pain reduction, mental clarity, improved immunity, general health and wellness, etc. We have done this 2 nights in a row now. We do both carotid arteries, her abdominal artery for 10 minutes, and her aorta. Since doing this, we have seen a drastic change with her O2 stats.
Sure.
Where she is able to bring up her oxygen on her own and stabilize it for a while. It happened again a few minutes ago. It was at 88 before we put the nasal cannula in her nose. It jumped back to 93. We tested for a little while and she managed to stay between 91 and 95 for a few minutes before we put it back on. She is on 0.75 liters of oxygen, which is great because they're weaning her off of it. Awesome. It says here, we have also seen a huge change in her perfusion index ratio. Perfusion index, or PI, is a ratio of pulsatile blood flow to the non-pulsative static blood flow. Perfusion index is an indication of the pulse strength and at the sensor site, which is right now her foot. The values range from 0.2 for very weak pulse to 20 for extremely strong. When we first got home from the hospital, she had a weaker pulse that rarely went above 1.1%. Since starting laser therapy, it has increased as high as 5.1%. It still varies daily, but for the most part, it stays above 1%, which is progress. As well as adding the new therapy of blood illumination, we also incorporated a muscle tone balancing setting, which is supposed to loosen her muscles. Since doing this, she has been noticeably relaxed. Her hands are not as clenched anymore. We were able to move her joints more easily. See the video below.
I saw that, yeah.
Which is that's just freaking amazing. And technology is so out of this world.
You know who created that machine, right? They said they were
like 5 or 6 neurosurgeons, yeah.
They're neurosurgeons. They are not some guy off the street that made up some apparatus for them to use. These are like 6 or 7 neurosurgeons that got together and said, this is what we need to do to get this type of situation under control.
God bless her, man.
And guess
She's
what?
Beautiful.
The insurance won't cover it, okay? It's like almost $7,000, $6,000 something dollars for the machine, and they had to pay for it because the insurance says, nah, it's really like experimental. Experimental is if I create it. But these are doctors. These are experienced neurosurgeons that came up with this stuff, and you can't cover that, you know, or at least cover half of it.
Yeah.
You know, but and there goes. Insurance companies are insurance companies. They're fast to get their money, but they're very slow to get it back to you.
Yep. Well, let me tell you, Everly's just a beautiful, beautiful, super strong little girl. What? Wow, man.
No.
This is amazing.
Totally
and,
amazing.
you know, I'm a total Everly fan. I'm here with my bracelet.
Oh, wait,
boom.
wait.
Everly strong.
I don't go anywhere without it.
All day, every day.
My entire family's there with it.
All day, every day.
Magali has it on too.
I did. You know, it's funny. I did a wedding on Saturday up in
Magali.
Wellington.
Magali has it on too.
And it's like this like foo fancy type wedding thing, and I had this big bracelet on. And throughout the night I was dancing and the bracelet moved, and all you saw was like this gorgeous black gown and Everly Jane, the hot pink bracelet.
That's right. I play golf. I play golf with this every day because I want people to ask me, hey, what's that for? And
exactly.
And then I tell them, hey, this is what it's for. And I got some here. Actually, this weekend I'm going to hit some of the cigar shops that I have.
You got to give me a few, man.
I'm going to give you a few.
You got to give me a few so I can
We
be
need
like,
to get
hey,
rid of
how
them.
many do you
We
want?
have about 150, and we're going to get rid of them. Trust me when I tell you.
Yep.
We're going to get rid of them. To help this great, the Patterson family, great bunch of people, you know, local people. And it don't matter if you're local or not. Anywhere in the United States, this great nation, if you're in this great nation and you're that type of person and that type of family, we're here to help.
Absolutely.
How can we say no? I have a little shout out.
You got a shout out.
Yeah, I'm not into the shout out thing. I'm not. Would you stop throwing stuff at me? She's trying to throw some coffee. ¿Viste eso, Magali? Me quería tirar.
Es que son los reflejos.
Yeah.
Me ven así, pa, ya pensé que iba a decir
She's
algo.
trying to assault me on TV and on.
Like I said, you know, you guys do a lot of abusing of the people, so.
You know, we got about.
I'm here for the people.
In about a month, 5 weeks, we've gotten about 3,700 followers, and I have to, you know, I got to tell you, what a bunch of good people. These are people that I don't even know. When my mom passed away last week, I was getting condolences from people I don't even know, from countries I can't even pronounce. That were on our Facebook page, which is Izzy Cachita, or Izzy and Cachita. We have 2 web pages, and these people were saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry for your loss," so on and so forth. And I'm like, they don't even know me, but you know what? I make sure that I answered every single one of them, or at least I did try to do that, and I try to get everybody's birthday. You know, these are law enforcement. These are cigar people, people that are big time into cigar and pipe. Okay, and these are and if you notice, I haven't said these are Democrats or Republicans or independents or socialists or this, because the bottom line is when you ask people to become friends on your page and they accept, and we're talking about 5 weeks. For me, it's a lot. 3,700. You know, followers. I think that's a great thing for me. I mean, people talk about millions and this and that, and listen, I'm happy with what I got. It's a bunch of great people. If they're listening, anybody's listening from that Facebook page, make sure that you send me a message letting me know that you were listening, and we greatly appreciate, really appreciate you being friends with us on our program's webpage.
That was a nice shout out.
I'm not into the shout out thing. That's too modern for me. I want to shout out. Shout out. What are you talking about? Don't be shouting. Yeah, that's one of the things. You know, one thing that I never got to tell you is that when we said the other day we were going to go over is when someone 6 months shy of my retirement sent Internal Affairs, Miami-Dade
Yes,
Police
tell me
Internal
about that.
Affairs. They sent a letter to the Miami-Dade Police Department after 30 years saying that I was a corrupt cop, saying that I gave...
Isidro.
No. Listen to this. That I was giving out information to attorneys and talking about cases that were open and all that stuff. You know what the good part about it was?
What?
I knew exactly who it was.
Really?
And I called him out on it. Absolutely.
And all you did was call him out? You didn't beat his ass?
Piece of shit. Another cop. Another piece of shit cop. That's exactly what it was. But to this day, I say hi and goodbye because I like to keep my enemies really, 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 really close. And that was the biggest crap I ever, that was like a stab in my heart because never once in 30 years anybody made any type of allegation of corruption or anything like that. I was at a cigar shop.
Mm-hmm.
There's an attorney. The attorney says, my client is so-and-so. And I said, hey, I have a case. But listen to this. I have a case involving your client. And I would like to see if you can get me some information. Talk to your client. See if they want to come in and cooperate, so on and so forth. And he said, yeah, we can. I'm going to talk to my client. And then this other individual who happens to be also present, there were 4 people present. One was a good friend of mine that would never do that. He said, well, that person that you represent is a good friend of mine. And I said, well, you just got out of federal prison. You have friends like that and stuff, so on and so forth. And I guess he didn't like the fact that he was hanging out with a corrupt politician that served 3-5 years, whatever it was, for corruption.
No man.
And so I guess he went and told the politician that I was talking about his open pending case. So when Internal Affairs called me in, they realized that the case had been closed since 2010. It was not an open pending case. This was in 2018 when this occurred. So 8 years prior, that case was closed. There was corruption. There was a list of stuff. In that case, one day I'm going to discuss it on the air because it involves burning down tow trucks and a business. And hey, the allegations is that the politician has something to do with it. I just follow the lead. They gave me the information and I followed it. And so they sent this letter to Internal Affairs. When they saw it, they started laughing. When they saw my record, my Internal Affairs file, they started laughing. I was in Vice 12 and a half years. I was in gangs 1 year. I was 7.5 years in cargo theft task force with the FBI. Then organized crime with the FBI. Then public corruption. Public corruption, yes, for about 8 years. And when they saw my file, they started laughing. It says, this is somebody that really hates you, and this came from a cigar shop. So I knew exactly who it was. So I called them out. I came into a cigar shop right after I retired because I didn't want to get myself in a bind. And everybody, including...
This happened 6 months before you retired?
Yes.
And you had the patience to hold 6 months?
6 months. I was biting my fingernails, waiting. And the day that I retired, that same week, I came in, he was sitting there, and I said, I need to talk to you outside. He says, what do you need to talk to me about? And I said, the letter you guys wrote. It was either you or the politician wrote that letter because only you two and that attorney knew exactly what we were talking about. And the way the letter's written, it was somebody that knows how to write police lingo. So we had a conversation, lengthy conversation. That was the end of it. So sometimes you ask me, are all cops good? No, they're not. Because some have nothing better to do, okay? That instead of embracing the brotherhood and the sisterhood, with all with law enforcement and blue and stuff like that, they have nothing better to do than to do that. The only problem with this person is, since I work Vice, I work the streets. I was a street undercover guy. I turned around and I said, very dangerous to be writing letters like that, because when you go and hang out with this politician in the Florida Keys and write his 2 stolen jet skis, I think you would put yourself in a very, very, very bad predicament. And I left it at that. And that's the end of the story. Are there cops that have nothing better to do than to mess with other cops? Yes. And those are probably the same type of cops that go and mess with people in the street because they have nothing better to do. They're miserable pricks. That's what it is. And yes, I'm telling you right now, the friends that I have on my Facebook page, those are good, great. Well, you saw Gil and you saw Lynn. You know, that's just an example. You saw Alex Casa. That's the people that I want next to me. The other ones, I don't want you next to me with a 10-foot pole.
We got to leave in 2 minutes. You know this,
Why?
right?
Why? Where are we going?
Because we got to go.
Yeah.
We got to go. But I wanted to take a minute to say that Homestead Police is seeking the public's help in finding a 17-year-old girl who has been reported missing. This just came up on my feed. According to police, Eileen Suarez was the last seen leaving her home in Homestead Thursday afternoon, and she has not returned. Anyone with information about her whereabouts is asked to call Homestead Police Department 305-247-1535. I'm going to show you a picture of Eileen. She is just 17 years old. If anyone, let's focus in for a second.
Okay.
If anyone sees this little girl.
Any other information on that 17-year-old?
They haven't said anything else other than, she's been missing since Thursday.
If anybody knows where she's at, if anybody has any information, please call your local police department, number one. And number two, tell her to at least give a call, all right? Because there's a lot of time and effort in trying to find missing kids.
Yeah.
A lot of time and effort, and they don't get it. While we have to be chasing leads to try to find this girl that, I'm not saying that, but in a lot of cases, they're runaways, okay? There's other people that really need our help out there, okay, involving other types of crimes. But they just don't get it. They just take off. But mommy and daddy know if she's a runaway or not. They know that.
Ay, Dios mío. Isidoro, get your más cagao.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully we can have a little more positivity. Thank God for Everly Jane who keeps us positive.
Yes.
What can I say?
Yes.
We got to say goodnight, y'all, for tonight. We will be back tomorrow. This is I'll Call You Back, True Blue Unedited with President Sir
Izzy Martinez
and Cachita Lopez here on Cachita Latina Radio.
Be back.
111, 110.